If you can look behind me, we have our teen numbers anchor chart that we did today. We had our data meeting yesterday, and oh my gosh. If you're not on Teachers Connect, I would highly advise you to get onto that. I love going through people's posts. I love seeing the responses that people are getting. And it's just, I just love this community, you know. What's up, guys? It is Monday, August the 28th. It is the end of the day. If you can see, I have my backpack on. I'm about to head out. But I did remember to go ahead and talk to you guys about today. So today was a great day. I feel like we're finally starting to get into our routines and know what's coming next and just getting on with the ball and all that stuff. So we started off our day with math, which was fantastic. If you can look behind me, we have our teen numbers anchor chart that we did today. We talked about what the teen numbers were, and we knew their teen numbers because they have 2 digits, and the first digit is a 1. And I mean, we used those, that vocabulary, digit. We talked about what tens were, what ones were, and how we can count quicker by doing those groups of 10. But that's what we did for math, and the main thing I told them, I kept telling them throughout, I was like, if I don't teach you anything else, if I am a horrible teacher and don't teach you anything else, the one thing I do want you to know is that a teen number is made up of 1 10 and some ones. I really want them to understand that place value of tens and ones, and I know first grade, we work heavily in place value, so that's something that I really want to stress at the very beginning of the year. So we did that for math. For our phonics lesson, we are doing short O this week. So we're doing short O and closed syllables. For reading, we are still making predictions. We're still doing key details. We are still doing 5-finger retail, so character, setting, events, problem, solution. And then these are the charts that I'm using for my reading right now, the 5-finger retail, making predictions, problem and solution, and then text to self, because we are going to be doing some text to self stuff with the book that we're doing this week. Oh, the book we're doing this week is What Do You Do With a Problem? And it's super cool, super awesome, because it's so abstract. I shouldn't say abstract. I should say generalized. It's very generalized. Because in the book, it talks about how this boy has a problem and he tries to ignore it. He scowls at it, which is one of our vocabulary words this week, scowled at it. He avoided it, which is another vocabulary word, avoided. And it didn't do anything to the problem. It didn't make it go away. It made the problem bigger and bigger. And what we have to do when we have a problem is to face that problem. And then they face that problem, and then they kind of see that that problem isn't really a problem at all. It's an opportunity, a chance to do something, a chance to be brave, a chance to be great, a chance to do the right thing. For science, we started to talk about how the sun's position in the sky can give us direction. So we did a mystery science with that. We started the mystery science. We did not finish it. Tomorrow, though, what I have been preparing for, what I've been putting together, I've put together a big old binder of running records, because I'm going to be assessing for my kids' reading levels. I have data from when they were in kindergarten. We have a set of data binders that move up with our kids every year. So I was looking at last year's data, seeing where they were at the end of the year, and I have an idea of where my kids could possibly fall, but there is that possible chance that they regressed. There is that possible chance that they progressed. So I'm going to be assessing that. Hopefully, I'll be done by the end of this week. But what I did was, in my school, we have Rigby, PM, benchmark kits. So they have tons, and there are actually 2 sets. This is set 1, and this is set 2. 2 different texts per level for me to use for running records. What I did was I kind of made copies of them for my own self, so that way I could keep them with me at all times. The only problem would be if I need the books, which I could always go back and take one of these and look at the book and get the books real quick from it. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing this week. I am super anxious about it. This will be my first time actually really assessing beginning of the year with running records. I don't have a lot of experience with it, so I am super nervous about it. One question that I'll probably One question that I'll probably ask on Teachers Connect is, how do you guys assess all your beginning of the year stuff? Because oh my gosh, we've been assessing like crazy as far as district requirements and then requirements from the school. We've been doing testing literally since we've been here. We've done iReady, we've done Lexia, we've done 95% with the PASI and the PSI, we've done CBM for fluency, we've already assessed for nonsense words, and now here I am assessing again more stuff for reading levels. So it's a lot. It seems really overwhelming. So my question for Teachers Connect for this week, one of them will be, how do you guys prepare for and how do you guys follow up with all the assessments that happen at the beginning of the year? How do you not get so overwhelmed? How do you prepare yourself for these assessments? I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because it is 6:03. I'm tired, and I am just about to fall over and crash. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. What's up, y'all? It is Friday, I don't even know, but it doesn't matter because it's Friday. It's the weekend. Almost. As soon as I walk out the door, it's the weekend. So Tuesday was when I had my little rant about computers and how it's hard for my kids to log on. Hopefully, as the year goes on, it'll get better. But right now, it's driving me insane. We had our data meeting yesterday, and oh my gosh. Data, and more data. Oh my gosh, it was so much data. And I was just, not gonna lie, overwhelmed. But I'm just so thankful because I have a great team behind me, and I have a great intervention team behind me who can help me 100% along the way. So I'm going to get on their nerves asking about data, but hopefully they understand it's because I just really want to know. Overall, I have a really, really good group of kids this year as far as academics go. As far as behavior goes as well, they're fine. They just love to talk. Most of my kids are on a great path. I do have a couple of low readers, but I feel like once we start our SOAR, our intervention, and once we get into those groups, and I can help them more individually in those small group areas. So I'm not really complaining right now. And the kids that are like low, I mean, they can read CBC words, they decode. We're learning one of the decoding strategies, Stretchy Snake. We've been doing that with our 95%, with sounding out the initial, medial, and final phonemes. We talk about eagle eye, looking at that first letter and making that first sound and getting our mouth ready and stuff like that. The next decoding strategy that we're going to be teaching, not next week, but we're still going over vowels. So I had to kind of do away with the circle maps that I was planning on doing this year. A lot of my kids, we took our part of the PASI and PSI assessment is knowing letter names and knowing letter sounds. And my kids know their letter names and know their letter sounds. If there was an issue, they were doing lots of reversals. So they were saying D instead of B, or they were saying B instead of Q. B, D, P, Q. A couple of them were struggling with G. But other than that, they're fine on those consonant sounds, those short vowel sounds. They knew all their letter names. So I felt like going through that was kind of like a waste of time, and making them go through that every single day. They already know it. I know they know it. They've shown me that they've known it, so I'm not going to keep hassling them with that. So I kind of did away with the circle maps, but we are still following the 95% lessons, and with those 95% lessons, following that scope and sequence, we're still doing short vowel sounds. So we've already done we've done Ah was this week, and then next week we're going to go back to eh. We're also hitting a lot on closed syllables. Now, I might have gone too fast with closed syllables, but I feel like they got it. I mean, I've really, really hit a closed syllable. You have to have a vowel and a consonant after it. You have to have a vowel and a consonant after it. You have to have a vowel and a consonant after it. So we're going to do some more practice with that while we do sound eh. The week after that, we're doing the sound and then I think after that, we're going to start getting into some blends and digraphs and trigraphs and stuff. So I'm super excited because that's when I can start doing chunky monkey and we can start doing chunks of words like think. We could chunk it up into th and ink. Or thing, we know when we do ing, we could just go ing. So we know like thing, ing, thing. And not having to do each individual letter by itself, because we all know that once we get into those blends and digraphs and trigraphs, they can sometimes sound a little different, you know? So, I don't know. I'm super excited for that part of phonics. That was a little tangent, but that's where we're going with that. For reading, we kept on doing what to do with a problem, and we talked about different problems and solutions. Yesterday, we made a T-chart of some problems that we had. I said, okay, so what are some kindergarten problems or some first grade problems? Getting some more text-to-self stuff in. So we made a T-chart. Yesterday, we did just the problems, so listing different problems that we had, and then today, we came up with different solutions for that. We took our assessment on that today, and they did fine. And then after that, we did a STEM project, which is what you guys might know as the Great Penny Challenge, where you have to build your own boat out of aluminum foil, straws, tape, just all different kinds of things. And then see if it would float in the water, and then also see how many pennies it could hold. So, that was just to kind of see if they got that concept of if you have a problem, you know, try and find the opportunities, try and find those solutions to fix that problem. So, what's up?
What's the interview? Vlogging.
I'm vlogging. Look, you're on it. Okay, so on Wednesday, for math, we finished up talking about teen numbers. What we did was we talked about teen numbers on 10 frames and how we can break that up into groups of 10 and some ones left over. So I have some math mats, and on one side, I got these last year. My team and I purchased a bunch of these, and there's some other ones too that have different stuff on it. But the one I have, one side is a big 120s chart, and then the other side has a number line and double 10 frames. And we used the double 10 frames and the cube trains from our math toolboxes, and we just made different teen numbers. And then on the side right here, what they would do is, so I would write the number on the board up front. They would build it with these 10 frames and the cubes. And then on the side, they would draw their own number bond. And then they would fill out the number bond. So let's say we did 14. They would fill out this 10 frame of 10. And then have those 4 ones. And then draw the number bond. 14 in the hole. And then 10 and 4. So we did that with a bunch of different numbers. I also introduced their math tubs, their new math tubs for this week. So I always keep 2 sets of math tubs. One is going to be from the week before, and then this side is going to be the new week. So the making 10 that I showed you in the last vlog is what's still out, and then I just added a new one for this week. So that was their math tubs for this week. Like I said, I taught them that in my small groups. They could choose. I also gave them some practice time. They could choose whether they wanted to keep doing the making 10 game or if they wanted to do the teen number game. I don't really mind which one they choose because they get so much practice. They get practice during whole group. They get practice on iReady because I assign lessons that align with what we're learning that week. So not only are they getting lessons that are curated for them from already. They're also getting a couple of lessons from me that I'm assigning to them that look similar to what they're learning with me. So they get that practice in, and then if they choose to use these, they will get extra practice in that as well. Which my kids do go back and forth. I mean, they might start out doing the making 10 game, but I mean, sometimes they might get burnt out from it and they want to try something new. So that's when they'll go to that new game. So yesterday we did more practice with that and doing more number bonds and stuff like that. And then today we had our test. For math next week, we're going to be talking about the equal sign, which I'm very, very nervous about because you would think that equal sign would be easy for kids, but it is not. My class last year, when I came in February and took over, had a very, very hard time with the equal sign. And when I talk about knowing the equal sign, they know what the equal sign looks like. They know what the equal sign means. But they had problems whenever there was a question like 6 plus 2 equals 5 plus 3. Like, because there wasn't a side that had one number, it freaked them out. And I tried so hard to be like, okay, well, let's just solve both sides. This side is 8. This side is 8. Does 8 equal 8? And they just had, I don't know what it was, they had the hardest time with the equal sign. So, I mean, we would do it for morning work. We would do it during our number talks. We would do it, I would spend some mini lessons during the day on that. And they just would not grab it. I don't know what it is. But hopefully this year, since I'm here, I'm going to be here the full year. And this is going to start with that equal sign and knowing how to balance equations basically is what they're doing. Knowing to balance an equation, hopefully they'll get back on that. So as far as the talking goes, it is still kind of an issue in my class, but it's moved from the whole class to select 5 or 6. The voice level chart has helped a lot for the whole class. The 5 or 6 that still do have that issue, oh my gosh, it's just in their blood. They're going to be a chatterbox. They're going to talk. They can't help it. It's just in their DNA. But I feel like I'm making progress. I don't know if I want to get a wireless doorbell just yet. I want to kind of get in a routine of using something for a while and then seeing if it works over a period of time, because Rome wasn't built in a day and not everything's going to work at the very beginning. So I want to kind of give the voice levels and the reminders just a couple more weeks just to kind of see if it goes down even more. If not, I will be purchasing a wireless doorbell to kind of help out with that. A lot of you guys on Teachers Connect, I asked what strategies you guys use for a chatty classroom. I've gotten some responses on Teachers Connect. I've gotten some from YouTube. Some of the responses I see on Teachers Connect, I've seen chants. I've seen positive praise of kids who are doing the right thing. I've heard of countdowns, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I've been doing all those things. I've been doing those things last year in my class, and they worked well. This year is a totally different bunch. What works last year isn't necessarily going to work for this year. So thank you so much for that advice. All right, guys, there's one more thing I do want you to know. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I have a wish list or an Amazon wish list or some type of wish list, if I need any extra things. I actually do. I have an Amazon wish list that I will put a link in the description box. If there's anyone who would like to donate to my classroom, I would be more than happy to receive stuff from you, and I just want to thank you guys in advance. I'll put a link in the description below so that way you can donate. I think I set it up to where it'll just ship to my school, but again, to you guys that have been asking for it, look for that link in the description box below. I am sitting at home going through Teachers Connect, and there are a couple of posts on here that I wanted to kind of share with you guys and get your opinions on. The first one comes from News and Education, and it's what teachers think about professional learning. Now it says, teachers are overwhelmingly turning to social media and online resources to drive their own professional learning, according to a new Speak Up survey data that was released by Project Tomorrow. And it says face-to-face professional learning conferences are becoming less popular, and the following methods are gaining more popularity. And those are watching videos or TED Talks, participating in webinars or online conferences, using social networks to seek help from other teachers, taking online courses on their own, and then using Twitter and other social media to follow education experts or other teachers. It gives a link to where this data came from. And the question that they posed is, do these changes in how teachers choose to extend themselves professionally resonate with your own personal experiences? What methods do you prefer and why? And this is actually very funny that I've seen it, because it's something that I've actually been thinking about for a little while. And actually, my school district this year is accepting social media and online webinars and stuff as part of our professional development hours. So we can use like different edu-chats on Twitter. Edu-chats are like the little hashtag. It's educational chats, but it's just like EDU chats. And those are hosted every week by different people. They just pose questions, put the little hashtag in it, and then you respond to those using that hashtag as well. So that's one way that I've seen it. That's one way that I've actually engaged in different topics in education through Twitter. I've also been a part of different webinars on YouTube, different types of conferences. I love listening to TED Talks. I listen to some TED Talks on my way to and from work, on my commute home. So, I mean, I do all these things, and it's so crazy to me that it's going to be popular with a lot of teachers. So, for me personally, I love it. I love how we can curate our own professional development to what we actually need. We don't have to have, because I mean, yes, our districts do give some pretty insightful professional development courses, but not all the time are they things that we need or things that we want to hear. And it's very cool to me to be able to kind of pick and choose what will benefit you. Not because you have to have those hours, or, oh my gosh, I need 4 more hours. Let me just take this class just to get those 4 hours. I mean, it's something that'll actually help you and something that'll keep you actively engaged, because it's something that you want to know. It's something that you need to know. So my question for you is, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys use things like Twitter, TED Talks, watch people's YouTubes? Do you use Teachers Connect to find some of that professional development stuff? Or would you rather stick to the face-to-face courses that your district supplies for you? But for me, I love it. I participate in the online chats. I participate in Teachers Connect. I watch YouTubes on various topics. I listen to TED Talks. I do all that stuff. So for me, in my own personal experience, I love it. And I really love the fact that my district is actually including that as part of gaining professional development hours. But what is your take on it? Do you like these platforms as getting professional development hours? Would you like for your district to use those as your professional development hours? What do you guys think about it? Be sure to comment on YouTube. I'll actually put a link to this Teachers Connect post if you're on Teachers Connect in the description box below, so that way you can add to it too if you like. But that was one question that I thought was very interesting, and that I would love to hear your feedback on. Another question that I seen came from Alice. And she says, today I found out that I'm going to be getting a new student that was retained. Last year, this student was a major behavior concern, and he was aggressive with students and faculty, and he even went as far as busting the assistant principal's lip. Whew. Oh my gosh. He was labeled as gifted and talented, but they stripped him of that title because of his behavior. It's 3 days into the school year, and I got an email saying that he is going to start in my class effective immediately. He was doing relatively well in his other first grade class, but they are moving him because our old principal promised if she held him back in first grade, he would be in my class this year. So our new principal has to honor that promise, and instead of taking one of my other students that are in the behavior program, they took one of my most well-behaved students. So now I have 3 students in the behavior program. Last year I had 7, so I guess I should be happy. What are some strategies that I can use to prevent my 3 students from gravitating toward one another? Well, listen, Alice, that was a lot, but I really want to know what you did last year with your 7 behavior students. I would love to know how that dynamic went and what kind of strategy you used for those 7, because I would say if they worked relatively well for your 7 kids last year, I would, if I were you, I would kind of use those same strategies if they worked for your 3 students this year. I actually have a couple behavior students of my own in my class. I have 2 of my students that get pulled out for small group because of behavior. But right now, I just have 2 students that I'm concerned with the most. And what I do with them is I keep them separated. They're on opposite sides of the room from each other, but they're also by themselves because they can't really handle not only being with near each other but being around other friends. So I kind of have them separated. Now I will say they do gravitate towards each other. I don't know what it is, but kids that you do not want near each other, it's like, oh my gosh, our teacher doesn't want us together. Let's just be magnets and stick to each other like 24/7. Like honestly, I have and I mean, as far as like the playground stuff goes, I don't mind them being around each other, but when it's time for work, when we're in the classroom, I kind of keep those people separate. My suggestion for you is to just be completely explicit with your expectations of what happens in your classroom, and be very, very proactive in looking for the signs of them starting to go to each other, or if there's going to be a problem that arises, I would just highly encourage you to be very, very proactive. And it's so hard because I bet you're kind of like me to where you love to have kids collaborate together. You love to have those turning talks. You love to have it to where they're working together. But with those kids, they just can not handle it. So when we do grouping, I intentionally group them with someone that I know is responsible, someone that I know is respectful, someone I know is going to be doing the right thing, showing those school-wide rules, those 3 R's: respect, responsibility, right thing. I would just say, just try and build a relationship with them, be very proactive, as far as watching for signs of aggression or any problems. Group them wisely, and just take it day by day. I have to take it day by day, as far as my kids who seem to be I don't want to call them a problem child because they're not a problem child, but they do raise a couple of issues in their class. But I just be very proactive with that. And also keep parents in the loop. The parents of my kids have been very, very, very proactive. They've been very, very, very helpful with the school year so far. So I'll just say, make sure you just keep them updated on the good and the bad. More so the good. You want to make sure that you stay on that positive side with them. But, oh, and look, she responded to it. She said, thank you for all the comments. Some comments that other people said, they gave her a link that talks about strategies for academic and behavior interventions. They also talked about keeping your school counselor, psychologist, admin, and support team in the loop. Very, very good advice, because if this child was a problem last year, then your support team at your school, your guidance counselor, your admin, they already know about this child and they already have more background with the child than you do. So I would also keep them in the know about the good and the bad that's happening in your classroom as well. I see suggesting that you be intentional on all your decisions. When grouping them collaboratively, I would try my best to keep them in groups that model appropriate behavior, showing that respect, responsibility, right thing. Awesome. And keeping a behavior log for those kids. Someone else says, don't judge them without trying to build a relationship. You could be the change that they need. Stay positive and good luck to you. I see keep your head up and remember that each person has a different relationship with the students, so just make your own relationship with them. Just find out what works with that kid, what sets them off, what does that child like. And I see again build relationships. And then Alice actually commented back and said, thank you for all your comments. The past 2 days were challenging, but I'm convinced that he can grow in our classroom community. I am already getting to know him, and I know that he loves positive reinforcement and being a leader. I'm going to try my best to make every day a clean slate and be as and be as consistent as possible with him. However, the 3 boys, yes, Let me tell you, man, boys are a different breed. Oh my gosh. I currently have 12 boys in my class, and I'm getting a new student who is a boy. I thought yesterday it was a girl, but it's a boy. So I'm going to be up to 13 boys and 8 girls. Oh my gosh, they're a different breed. Um, but however, the 3 boys have already found each other, and during unstructured times like transitions, phone calls, and other teacher interruptions, they just don't do well. Just giving you guys all an update. Man, Alice, I hope that your year is. I hope that your year goes well for you. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, man, boys, if you're a teacher, and you've had a year to where you've had more boys than girls, you know that, oh my gosh, it is a whole new dynamic. But yeah, those are my recommendations for you. I've read some other recommendations for you. I'm gonna also put a link to Alice's question in the description box below. So if you're on Teachers Connect and you want to add something to that, you will have access to that. If you're not on Teachers Connect, I would highly, highly advise you to get onto that. I love going through the posts. I love seeing people's comments and responding to people's questions. Okay. I love going through people's posts. I love seeing the responses that people are getting, and it's just I just love this community, and I would highly advise if you're not on this site to get on this site. But yeah, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell that lets you know every time that I post a new video. Until then, thank you guys for watching to the end. Again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment below if any questions or comments, and find me on Teachers Connect. See you guys.